Hello once again and welcome to Hour 1, the show where we play the first hour of a video game and then we talk about it afterwards. As always, I'm Charlie, and this week we'll be playing Saints Row the 4th, or Saints Row 4, depending on which way you look at it. Saints Row 3 is one of my favorite video games of all time, and I always meant to play Saints Row 4, but never quite got around to it. I think it came out around the time a bunch of other video games I wanted to play did, and it got shoved into the backlog. So for the first time in a while, I found myself with time to go through my backlog, and I'll give Saints Row 4 a shot. As always, we'll be playing 1 hour straight of the game from when the story starts, for lack of a better phrase, post-loading and stuff like that, and then I'll stop and talk about what I thought about it immediately after I'm done playing. So with that said, let's get to it. Starting the timer now.
It is universally acknowledged that every now and again a situation arises that defies explanation. And so it was with the ascension of the 3rd Street Saints. When the Saints made their presence known to the world in 2006, they were decried for being pretenders to the throne. The people were confused. Were the Saints sociopathic killing machines hell-bent on destruction? Or puckish rogues living a life of mirth and whimsy?
Didn't the third one end with us being like movie stars or something like that?
More fun,
I'm confused.
Base, are you there? What are we walking into?
The intelligence I'm looking at suggests...
Hold on.
Hey, it's the hacker guy from the first
On its
game.
way.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Your handler is... Was that Matt Miller?
Haha, Kinsey.
Wait, seriously? Matt Miller is a brilliant hacker, a venerated agent of MI6, and a key member of our operation.
And the fact that he tried to kill us.
What's past is past. We are all working together now. Let's focus on the job.
As I was saying...
Hold that thought, Matt. Guards ahead.
Okay, so I'm aiming but not getting any aim.
Hold position. Let's take him out quietly.
Attention! Attention, please!
Listen.
Saints, glad you can make it.
Shit! Our side's bombing the compound.
Oh, wait a minute, we're still in here.
I'm not dropping the bomb.
Just get them to stop.
I'll do what I can, but work quickly.
You call that a bump?
Lying, are you?
Don't move.
Shit! He's holding out the bomb! Deal with this first.
Go down, motherfucker! Go down! Come on.
Come here, you hoodlum. Best to just give up now.
The fuck? You gotta love the fact that you calling him him. I think I played the first game as a girl. Sorry, not the first game, the third game. Oh, this is... This may be overdoing it a little bit.
When we first met, I was just a fun-loving girl in dreadlocks, but you saw me as more than that. We snap at each other sometimes, and I don't always understand your methods, but there's no one I'd rather follow into battle.
Oh.
You're right over the...
Yeah, that's definitely you start a game, I guess. Okay. That's actually kind of a neat intro to character creation. I'm actually going to pause the timer now just so I can actually do this. Alright, there's our president. Starting the timer up now.
This is a problem.
It's not a problem.
You alienated part of America. I alienated crazy people.
You couldn't resist, could you?
Jesus, not you two.
This is a problem.
I keep trying
I
to
missed the
explain
Russian
that, but the
voice.
president
That was
won't
my
listen.
favorite part about the
Poverty is
third
a problem.
game.
Apartheid is a problem. This is just a couple of...
Here's the latest approval poll.
We lost 20 points. We can get them back.
They're at 20
It's upside
points.
down.
I'll admit that's a little lower than anticipated.
So you agree you have a problem?
Nope, you do. You're the communications director. Fix this.
Can you give me 100% employment?
No.
Will you get married?
Fuck no.
Then I think we're in trouble.
Kane, can you have this naysayer assassinated?
Not when you say it publicly.
You're more fun as a gang leader.
We have a country to run. Fun isn't part of the equation.
How did the Saints get even elected? Like, I'm sorry, like, no part of this franchise has ever been secretive about the Saints and their gang affiliation. Okay. Let's
As
cure
for hunger,
hunger.
tell the kitchen to fix me a smoothie.
Good choice.
Let's go the
Allow
lower
me to
road.
retort.
Oleg and I are about to head over to Camp David to watch some Nightblade. Yep. You down?
I'll
Fuck you.
catch up with you later, Josh. All right. I'll swing by after I...
Hey, look! Aliens. Okay, I got a gun now.
I told them I wanted a gun in every room. And 2 in every hallway.
That's one way of living, I suppose.
There you are. Thank God you're all right.
You okay?
It's the
Where's
MI6,
Matt?
bitch.
Upstairs, trying to find out what's happening.
What is happening?
All out war by the looks of it.
Let's do this, you gorgeous thing. I always win my arguments. You didn't count on me, did you?
Well, hello there. Welcome aboard.
I'm gonna have you stuffed and mounted, you alien fuck.
That'd be kinda cool. What does this even do?
Fucking hell!
Aside from getting my ass kicked.
Oh, I'm gonna...
Do what exactly? Huh? Bravado me to death?
Oh, this walk is
Something
killing
sure
me.
smells tasty.
Does this intentionally kind of look like crap?
Leave it to the Saints. Brought to you by Friendly
Oh, boy.
Fire, the only choice in home cookware.
Oh boy. Painful to watch. Is this supposed to be painful to watch? Like, if the goal of this is to be painful to play, they've succeeded, but I don't know. Like, this is honestly kind of insulting. Why does this thing's handling suck so much?
Why don't you glad handle it? We got time.
Oh, that's grainy.
Oh my stars, it's the president!
Hi, how are...
That's intentional shit. It's gotta be intentionally
We don't
shitty.
use that kind of language here in Steelport.
Oh, it's
Okay,
the
good.
Matrix.
There's a park
How
nearby.
clever.
Head there and give me a sec. Brace yourself.
I was just here.
Jesus H!
As I glitch into a goddamn car.
I need some more time before I can get you out. It'd be really helpful if you could just, just be you.
Be me.
The simulation is all about normalcy, pleasantry, order, all the things you hate. Go forth, unleash hell.
Good girls kick ass.
Why
Find the
the
cat
fuck
fountain. I left you a
can't
present.
I run? Fucking
Gosh,
cat.
This is swell. They couldn't fight worse shit.
It's almost boring.
Couldn't leave well enough
so-
alone, could you? Now, on to more pleasant things. I'm going to place you in your new home. Try to run again, and I'll destroy your pitiful planet. TTFN.
Wasn't this a gang about
My friends,
gangsters at
each of
one
you are
point or
guilty of
something like
crimes
that?
against the Satan Empire.
Like, that's what the first three games were about. The
But
first one
today
was
is
the
your
rise of
lucky
the
day.
Saints. The second one you woke up in the
Today,
prison, and
you
the
get
third
to be
one
a
was you
part
were
of a
kind of
new
following the
world
hip hop
released
culture rap thing, where you were suddenly famous and celebrities as a result of bad behavior. How the fuck do you wind up here? This is just weird.
You are getting me out of here, right?
Eventually. I'm still trying to figure out.
That was a furry driving a
Basic
car.
hacks like hooking into the audio system isn't hard.
That was a furry driving a
Just
car.
make you-
These people are in theory
I always
programs.
win my arguments.
So there's really no. They've nullified me. Technically, my bad behavior doesn't matter here because
Now what? I keep my head down until you can
it's
pull
just
me
programs. They're not
yet.
real.
There's a Zim patrol close to you that'll need to be cleared out before that happens. That is, if the president's up for killing a few more aliens.
Actually, Miss Press Secretary, that's your best suggestion since I got here.
What can I say? I'm good at my job.
Hey, assholes! You looking for me?
Just kill them and leave already.
That's a car for a saint. In fuego!
Finally, a song I like. Come on, Kinsey, sing along.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, please, Kinsey. You could be the cat.
Not gonna happen.
We come together. Come on, your turn, Kinsey. And you know it ain't fiction.
No.
Kinsey, you're gonna sing for your commander-in-chief.
Fuck that.
That could have been a real bonding experience.
That's a big data cluster. Oh, hey.
Zinyak destroyed my apartment?
Ugh. That place should have been condemned a long time ago.
Just wish I could have saved my shoes.
Okay.
Oh, this feels amazing.
Here, let me load up a training program for you to test your powers.
Should I be worried about who set this race up?
Don't know, but it seems like when you break through any checkpoints along the race, the district's reality matrix will overload a little.
Oh, one more time, Kinsey?
It means the simulation doesn't like it, and we're able to control the area.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
It did the first time I said it too.
Keep saying shit that I understand, and I'll buy you a penny.
Lies.
Alright, I got these superpowers. Let's see how they work now. Okay.
Woo!
That's gotta be a bad guy hideout. That's...
Woo!
And that's time. Alright, so obviously I've played an hour of the game, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly impressed with it. It really, I love the third Saints Row. As I said earlier, it's one of my favorite games, and that was partially the humor, partially just the story of it was compelling. It came out around the time that the whole rags to riches story was a big deal all of a sudden with everyone. And it did a fun job of flipping that on its head and making it really quite funny, but at the same time, weaving a good story with this. Like, first off, I got no clue how in any universe, regardless of how wacky it is, and yes, this is the universe that brought us giant purple dildo bats as a weapon, technically speaking, the Saints become the president. Like, I don't know much about politics, but I don't see it being a thing that would happen ever. And on top of that, like, I don't have this urge to kill Zinyak. He's a dick, sure, but he's not really... I don't know, like, I have no emotional investment in this game. Like, I'm not feeling the urge to kick his ass because he wronged me or anything like that, which I think is a big component of games like this occasionally, where there's obviously a central enemy. He's just kind of annoying and took over the planet, and maybe that comes later on in this game, but there's no sense of stakes right now, if that makes any sense. And like I said, this is only the first hour, so if there's more to come, maybe I'll get to it, maybe I won't. I'm not really picturing myself playing that much more of this game. So, yeah, I don't, there doesn't feel to me there's any stakes right now. It's just kind of this weird Matrixy parody ripoff, which, okay, so a little backstory, to back this one up a second or two. I remember hearing a while back when this game first came out that it was like an expanded version of of DLC was the joke about it. It's something called Enter the Dominatrix, and if that had been put into Saints Row 3 as DLC, maybe it would have been better. Maybe I'd find that better. Like, this is... It doesn't feel like that's all there. There's some weird rough edges. It feels unfinished, if that makes any sense. And maybe that's just I haven't gotten far enough into the game to really unlock stuff. Like, the power stuff is interesting, but this is a game. This is a franchise historically about super gangsters and stuff like that. Like, these are people that drive cars, customize cars, shoot guns, and do crazy things like steal super high-tech helicopters and stuff like that. Super strength, flight, jumping, super speed. It just feels out of place. And the fact that there's a whole car system, and now I can outrun cars and probably outjump helicopters to a certain extent, just feels like a waste. I can't picture a reason I would ever drive a car now except for maybe a mission forcing me to, or because I feel like it, which it's a sandbox game. Choice is a big thing, but why bother at all? Like, if this is going to be some weird superhero Matrix fantasy ripoff-y thing, parody, but I'm not sure what the word is for this one, make it seem like it's supposed to be. Like, it seems it's torn between its identity as a Saints Row game, which is guns and cars and sandbox shooter kind of thing, and like a game like Prototype or Infamous, which I'm a big fan of both of those games, but this one doesn't quite seem to get there all the way. Like, don't get me wrong, I love superhero sandbox games. Prototype, both 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games ever made. Prototype 2 is, in one of my books, one of the best games ever made from a game mechanics standpoint. And this game's reminiscent of that. You got the super speed, you got the jumping, but what that game does is deliver an exceedingly smooth version of superpowers. And right from the get-go, yeah, you get more powerful and you get cooler stuff as the game goes on, as I assume you do in this one, but you start off with a really good, compelling set, and traversal in those games starts off just fluidly well done. This one, you saw me, I was getting my head hit, I was hitting my head on the undersides of ledges trying to jump, and the super one run, while it's fun to do in traffic, it doesn't go up walls. Maybe I picked that up later, but the combination of the wall jumping and the super running, it's just not fun. It's kind of like the Crackdown franchise, which the first one was novel, but the second one was nothing special. I think they added zombies to it, and that made it bad. There seems to be a lot of interesting parts going on, like the Saints Row franchise has always been about parody and mockery, but it never strayed this far from what made it interesting. The first two games were... The first one was a Grand Theft Auto clone. The second one was a Grand Theft Auto clone with a lot of extra stuff injected into it to make it its own game. And the third one was the destructive, sociopathic, insane playstyle of some Grand Theft Auto players taken to the most illogically logical extreme. Like, it was all about the mayhem. It was all about the explosion. It was all about kind of just having fun with it. And this one seems to have just conflicting goals. Like, it's trying too hard in areas where it's not really working off. Like, the whole we got through it. This flashback to, I guess, the 1940s or something. That whole section was just painful to play. And if that's a design choice and they were going for painful, points to them. If they weren't, that's not fun. It's the walking, the gameplay, the amount of time you spend in there. It's just unfortunate. Like, I'd have really rathered it jumped that entire section. Yeah, it's got this whole nice, it's the Matrix reveal moment, but it seems like a waste. The moment you have the glitchiness going on, which the game has, the moment you step into that area, it's not like it comes in gradually you can kind of figure it out if you've played an Assassin's Creed game or any other game that deals with digitization or digitization, the concept of being in a virtual reality in general. It's there, and it kind of falls flat on its face. So then on top of that, when you get to the city, the third game did this as well, and it drove me nuts, and I was hoping they wouldn't do it this time. The pace at which they get you into the meat of the game is slow. Like, in a Grand Theft Auto game, I maybe would have gotten through 2 or 3 missions by now, tops, but I'd have a sense of where the game was going, and I'd care about the characters. The character customization, first off, is way toned back this time. We introduced way too many people too early on in the game to have them vanish for me to actually care about what's going on, really, and that sucks. Some of these characters are characters I loved in Saints Row the Third. Kinsey, Matt was an enemy and stuff like that. The fact that they have Keith David playing Keith David is fantastically funny, especially given his whole relationship to the video game industry as a whole. He is Keith David playing so-and-so, and he gets to play himself, which is great. Like I said, maybe there's a lot more of this game coming after an hour in, but I'm not feeling hooked, and I'm really feeling the urge to play more of this at all. It just, like I keep saying this, it feels half-baked, not quite done. I can throw more cliches. It just doesn't feel like a fully realized game, and this is several years, I think, maybe at least a year, probably 2, after the game came out. They've had time to patch this game. This isn't some day one mess-up. It feels sloppy. Handling 4 cars... I'm not perfect in driving games, don't get me wrong. It's a little bit slippery. It's not quite arcadey, not quite realistic. It's that annoying in-between. The running doesn't quite feel as tight as I'd like it to be. And again, maybe these are all things that come as you power up over time. I saw some Crackdown stuff going on in the corners. You had, I guess, my car driving going up, and being an experiencer for that. I think I saw some experiences you could put in for driving and guns and stuff like that. And I don't want that. What I want a sandbox game is I want to be able to upgrade certain things. In the third game, some of the upgrades were stuff like dual wielding, better health, bigger clips, carry more ammo and stuff. That's what upgrades should be. I don't want to go back to the Mass Effect 1 system of, oh, you got to upgrade your shooting skills to be able to shoot straight. That's not fun. And it's not how the game should be played. If it's going to be done like that, make it up front in the first place. Don't make it this, well, why am I kind of off or something like that? Why is this feeling slick? And Crackdown did this, and it drove me up the wall. And maybe the payoff for that game was way better than I'm picturing this one being, because like stuff got cooler as you upgraded. Like the better you got with guns, the cooler the guns got, like regardless of how generic they were or something, which was a neat touch. And again, I've only literally played an hour of this game, but I don't see suddenly if I get my driving skill up to like 10 or something, cars getting cooler. And if I power up running to level 10 or something, I'm betting I pick up run up walls and shit like that. But yeah, it's not all there, and I'm not hooked. So yeah, I'm actually gonna hit the title screen. I'm gonna end this for the night. Maybe I'll pick it up later. Probably not. I have not been impressed in the first hour of this game. So yeah, see you next time. Hope you enjoyed.